Hi there, this is Tishuinu and I'm making Quetzal, a fast-paced 2D platformer inspired by Path of Pain. In this devlog, I'm going to talk about the weird and amazing experience of designing and implementing the first boss of the game. Stick around till the end for 3 important takeaways when creating bosses for the first time, and also a really exciting announcement. Creating a boss encounter has challenged a lot of stuff I thought I knew about game development and about the essence of my own game. It's been draining and very hard to fine-tune until I found the fun. Nevertheless, the hard work paid off and I'm very happy with the result and how the combat feels. So let's dig deeper into the process and see what we can learn from creating a boss encounter. A good first boss should be in sync with the setting they're in, and offer a test to the player to ensure they are ready to continue. Adding new mechanics and gameplay elements to the first boss could frustrate players and detract from the experience. That's why I decided to create a boss that was not overly complicated. I created a first version that had spikes underneath and 2 large rectangles on top. The spikes underneath were meant for a stomping attack, but that's kind of been done to death and didn't seem very exciting. So I discarded this design and went for one that looked like a larger, more complex version of an existing enemy that had already been presented to players. Again, to reinforce the idea that the first boss is a test of what the player has experienced up until that point. When working on the attacks, I settled on just 3 phases for my own sanity, also because it's the first boss and you don't want to throw in every idea you have. As the battle starts, the enemy chooses a random corner of the screen to go to and telegraphs it for the player, before accelerating and crashing against the destination. One aspect of this phase that I spent some time fine-tuning was the movement type towards the destination. In the end, I decided to go with an ease-in cubic transition, as it really helps deliver that acceleration feeling that makes the boss feel heavy and large. When crashing, there's some camera shake to simulate tremors, to further emphasize the weight and massiveness of the boss that the player should feel when playing the game. The telegraph is done with a line 2D that flashes twice with a bit of glow to make it stand out. In the next phase, the boss sucks in energy to shoot down a giant laser beam. The laser residue compromises the integrity of the ground, leaving it full of energy, which produces mini explosions to be created in a symmetric pattern. The laser is the only attack that makes the player lose more health, as the impact is quite large and it's not difficult to avoid. The hard part of this move is avoiding the explosions that are generated afterwards. In the last phase, the boss moves towards the center of the screen and shoots at the player. I tried a flowery bullet pattern that shot 4 bullets at the same time, but it proved to be very frustrating. So I settled on aimed bullets, an added challenge to the directional bullets the player has already encountered. After defeating the boss, the player gets his first ability as a reward, Tidal Slam. Tidal Slam serves as a way for the player to swipe bullets back, which opens up a lot of possibilities for level design. I've spent quite some time tweaking the sound design of this ability and finally think I'm going to settle on this sound. It's a series of impact layers with a bobble popping around there somewhere. Sound design is being the biggest hurdle to overcome right now, as I have no idea what I'm doing and I'm spending ages looking for sounds and tweaking hundreds of random values in Audacity. So please do let me know what you think so far in the comments below, and any advice you may have regarding sound design, as it seems like a bottomless pit I could spend ages on. The name I chose for the boss is Tipsofiba, which loosely means clay wind in Chibcha, the language of the Muisca in Colombia. I went with this name because I think of Tipsofiba as a golem created from clay who floats similarly to a hot air balloon. I don't think he's an inherently evil creature. I like to think he was created with ceremonial purposes in mind, and he was later repurposed and remolded by hands with evil intentions. But it's hard to define evil. The reasons that compel us to make certain decisions are very personal and twisted, and I want the game to be very open-ended about this. So which are my 3 takeaways? First of all, first instincts are pretty useless. Expect a lot of fine-tuning. Estimate at least twice what you think you'll take. Second, treat the experience as a lesson. Think of ways you can use what you're creating for the first time, like cutscenes, for newer encounters so it takes less time and you can iterate faster. And finally, ask for feedback. Playtest with friends and family. This kind of sympathetic feedback will make the difference between a fun encounter and a random assortment of mechanics that may not pair well together. To finish off, I wanted to share that I finally have a release date for Quetzal's demo. The last couple of weeks have been very exciting, as I found out Quetzal has been selected to be showcased at the Insomnia Games Festival. This has been great to push me to hit a hard deadline. The early demo will be available to play at the Insomnia Games Festival from the 15th to the 18th of April. So if you happen to attend, come by and say hi. The official demo will be live on Friday the 22nd of April, so please leave a comment if you would like to try it out and join our brand new Discord community, as we will be gathering lots of feedback. Thanks so much for watching, and please consider liking and subscribing if you would like to follow Quetzal's progress, as it really helps.